5 minutes, and when they took over, they looked far more dangerous. And the goal from Otoo And Affum, the difference between both sides, and Otoo would love to keep the scoreline the same and perhaps consolidate it in the second half. That's the goal scorer. It was actually done extremely well over Dansa, Kofi Abanga, and Otoo. And already a player is injured as a result of laying his body down for the course. The Kotoko course, I should say. We're approaching the 20th minute mark and still no goals to talk about in this one. But plenty to talk about in this game already. Sulaima Abdullahi, he'll be happy after making that fingertip save.
Yeah, that was a very important save. Very, very important.
Nia J losing out on the ball, but Kotoko still fighting hard. But Otoo doing extremely well keeping possession. And this is Otoo. He's got the skill to match. Good ball! And that's a goal! Affum has converted! And the fans have gone mad!
Well, what a goal, Chris! You've got to hand it to Mahatma Otoo. Brilliant work down the right-hand side, a step over Otoo, and when the cross came in, just on the edge of the 6-yard box, there was no one inside except Otoo And Affum, straight in the back of the net, and that's 1-0.
Mahatma Otoo, creator of the goal, did extremely well, got past this man and fired it across. All it took was a touch. And Affum, atoning for the many misses earlier this year in Kumasi, he has scored against Kotoko.
Well, I tell you what, I think it was towards the end of last season we saw him score an important goal. I can't remember what match it is, but once again, this is a very important goal.
Well, Affum was the man who got the 2 goals that won Otoo the league title last season against Sporting Miren. And scoring such a goal against Kumasi and Kotoko, we'll see him placed on a higher pedestal with the Hearts fans. A couple of weeks ago, he signed a new 3-year extension to his contract and celebrating that with what a goal. I tell you what, the fans are going to forget all about the misses he's been having, particularly one in this game, because he has put Otoo up. Kotoko still attacking Kofi. Jordan Oboku. And that's not a bad ball, but Bafojan offside.
I tell you what though, Chris, in rewinding the incident that brought the ball across the face of the goal, where was Gideon Ba?
Yeah, that's a very, very big question, and he will probably be holding his head in his hands, and Papa's will have a lot of harsh words for him, because he should have been in position. Bafojan now has a double task, getting his side back on level terms. Uboswapia, Gariba. Good play there coming from Esmement. Obedansa wins the ball back very well. Guapo. And well, this is a chance for Kotoko, but a poor pass. That is an absolutely atrocious pass from a player of Jordan Opoku's caliber. Seems to have lost a lot of form.
Yeah, certainly was, Chris. Yeah, he's gone off the ball since the beginning of this season. Certainly gone off the ball, and that was a terrible pass.
Oh, that cross beating, and well, for a moment I thought it was a perfectly legal challenge, but the referee disagrees, and it's a free kick advantage Kotoko, and Kotoko fans and players will be relieved.
Well, to be honest with you, Chris, I thought that the referee got it right because it actually was a 2-foot challenge.
Ball has been flicked out, and it is a corner. Let's take a look at that once again. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a 2-foot challenge. At first glance, you might think it's a legal challenge, but referees have been taught to outlaw these things these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corner kick to Kumasi and Kotoko. Nia J. defensive header out. Kotoko will have to do a lot with this one, and that's a poor pass. And Harter will get a chance to counter. Wampo. Gideon Barr. Well, does very well to win that ball. And it's a free kick given to Kotoko. Not sure for what, but I think it was for a foul on Bafojan.
Yeah, it was a foul on Jan. He was nimble-footed there, got there first, and just wanted to move the ball on. And the bowler went right through him.
Nia J.
Well, they've got to try something different from this set piece, which is probably why Ajay is standing there. You can't just leave it for a Fosuapia to be striking all the time, especially when it's not going on target.
Well, decides to bend one in, and two players already offside. And so the referee's whistle going even before things could take place. And so, again, a clear demonstration of the fact that Kotoko are yet to get somebody who can deliver good set pieces into the box.
I think the key for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, which we saw from the incident where the ball ended up in the back of the net, is that they've got to deliver crosses into the box, because I don't think that is one of the strong points of McCarthy. And if he can be tempted to come out into no man's land, Kotoko could potentially get the equaliser.
And an off-the-ball incident involving Gideon Barr and a Hearts player. I'll confirm who it is in a moment. He's gone now. I think it's Kofi Abanga. They went up for the same ball, and I think there was a clash of heads. I think you were right before kickoff. It looks a good game.
Yeah, most certainly. Despite the positions of both clubs, they know what it means to secure 3 points from this match. And as I said earlier, it's going to be a significant turning point of good and bad fortunes, respectively, for the winner and the loser.
Well, it can't be a turning point for the loser, because the loser will still keep going down.
Well, it's a bad turning point.
Okay. A downward slide.
The spiral.
So time for the drop ball with Esmement. Jordan Opoku and Nia J taking some instruction. Perhaps it might be fair to say that Kotoko's season has foundered because of the loss of form of a player like Jordan Opoku, who over the past couple of seasons has made Opoku Warriors tick. But these days, it doesn't look too good for him.
No, absolutely not, Chris. But of course, that's not the only reason why Kumasi Asante Kotoko are failing to perform every time they come out on the turf. There's so many reasons, underlying reasons, that have hindered their progress this time round.
Well, Kofi has moved down the right, moving inside, goes down. The referee gives a free kick, and understandably the Hearts players are not too happy with it. Decided to go infield and try and jink his way through.
Well, I think once again, Chris, this opportunity presents itself with another set piece. Here we just see it here. He's just weaving his way through. It doesn't look as if there was anything, but the referee's gone along with it. But once again, another opportunity from about 30 yards for Kumasi Asante Kotoko to make something of it. And let's see what they can do this time.
Well, Gideon Barr is standing by the ball, but that was certainly not a good free kick, not a good routine. Or if it wasn't well executed. But Kabir Moro tries to cross the ball in, but a lot of red and blue shirts there waiting. And look at that! And Ofoswapia does very well to cover. Looking for somebody to pick a pass from. Bafojan chasing, and Karim Al-Hassan was aware of that to clear the ball out for a throw-in. Kofi. Obadansan gets the ball away. Esmement tries to win it, but Kotoko have possession once again. And well, a bit of confusion there, but Hearts eventually get the ball away. And Osei Bonsu. Last season you would have expected him to be the more experienced of the two in central defence, but this season Karim Al-Hassan seems to be the better man. Tetanote, Affum the goal scorer. He's got a skill and a turn of pace, so much so that Ofoswapia had to bring him down for a free kick. Or chipped inside, and Sulaima, in fairness to him, he was left exposed and could do nothing about that goal.
I'll tell you what I've identified, Chris, is that Kotoko have a lateral defensive problem on the right and on the left, because Ofoswapia is having to come across on the right and on the left to cover.
Kofi. Well, his cross caused McCarthy to grab it at the second attempt, but his kick in doesn't look a bad one either. Abanga, can he get there? Gariba. Nia J was there to keep the ball in play as we've reached the half-hour mark. And Kotoko lacking in ideas as to how to break down this harsh defense.
Well, it's almost substitution time, Chris, because they just don't have an idea at the moment. Here's the wayward cross come shot, really. Almost caught McCarthy off guard.
Probably that's a lesson in one-hand goalkeeping. Bar. That's a good ball to Nia J. And unfortunately the ball ricochets off his knee. Heart of Oak. The 1-goal lead will certainly give them a lot of impetus. And they've looked far more dangerous when they're on the attack. Otoo goes down and rightly so receives a free kick decision. He's looked nimble, he's looked fit. The creator of the goal.
Well, Kotoko, for me, they're struggling laterally. I think Bar's got to be careful now. He's given away quite a few free kicks and he's remonstrating on top of it.
Kofi, he's moved down the right. And Gariba moving forward, trying to give some impetus to Kotoko. Is that a good cross? Well, goalkeeper does well. And grabs it at the second attempt. Not much power behind the follow-up shot from Nia J.
A good attempt there from Kotoko.
And Heart of Oak. Ofoswapia does very well. Gideon Bar goes past one, tries to go past the second, and Kabiru Moro goes down. The referee says play on to Akamix. Goes down, and that's the decision advantage Hearts. It is very clear the referee is trying to let the game flow, but there are certain decisions he can't just walk away from.
Certainly not, and I felt that kudos to him, but he's also got to be careful with what he lets go.
Anochi almost playing himself into trouble a moment ago. Jordan Opoku. Kofi. Jordan Opoku. Bafojan. It's dropped very deep. Kofi. 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 Can't do it alone. And it's a throw-in. And that was a cross. It's Bafojan who gave him trouble, and the shot from Nia J, well grabbed by Philemon McCarthy. Meanwhile, a clash between McCarthy himself and another player sees him writhing on the turf in agony.
Well, he's gone out there, no man's land one, really, he didn't need to. The ball was always going to beat the Phobian, and he's gone out to make sure that it's gone past the line, and may have caused himself a severe injury, Chris.
It is a rare injury. I just hope he'll be fine. Marcus Fabian definitely is not fine because he's sidelined down by a goal to nil. And this was the incident. He's trying to kick the ball, and Nia J, the combative midfielder that he is, also went into him. It can't be pleasant.
Well, I just can't see what he's doing out there, Chris. That's my problem. The ball's always going to go out to touch. And even if Nia James does get it there, he's still got some work to do. So I can't understand why he's gone out there anyway.
Gideon Barr receiving a baptism of fire without a shadow of doubt in this game.
You know, Kotoko laterally, right and left. They've got good attacking options in Gideon Barr and Gariba. But it's about the recovery, Chris. They're stretching the back four insofar as Afosuapi has got to go left and he's got to go right to provide cover. Because when those two go up front, they just don't come back.
And for the moment, it's a corner kick to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Well, not a bad one, but dealt with, so it's another corner kick. Francis Kofi, not the tallest of players, but he can jump. This time, well flicked, but the referee noticed something in the penalty area, so it's advantage Hearts of Oak. And Obadansa, well, the referee pulling the ball back. And so is a free kick going to be retaken by Philemon McCarthy. McCarthy, good flicked on. That's not a bad ball to return. It depends on pace. Kabiru Moro tries to, oh dear, what was Kabiru Moro thinking? He decided to go for power instead of for craft, and that did not work for Kotoko.
Problem was Morrow and Jan were too close together, and Jan really should have come out of the foray and just pulled himself across the 18-yard box where a ball could have been delivered to him.
Kofi after receiving that ball. Well, Kofi! I wasn't on target, but nevertheless worth a try. Well, Hearts of Oak will be delighted to go in at halftime. 1 goal to the good, without a shadow of doubt. Ball kicked inside. Ball headed once again. And again, a lull in the playing activity. And a drop ball, Ayman El Yamani. Kofi covering very well. But Kumasi Asante Kotoko need to do better than what they're doing. Hearts of Oak full value for their lead. And Mahatma Otoo still a threat down the right. And it's so difficult to pick him up because he's so mobile. And so Isaac Owusu is watching him. Wampo. Abanga, well, that was rather silly from Daniel Nia J.
And it should attract a yellow card. He's lucky if he gets away with it.
Looks like he has.
There we see from the replay, Chris. First of all, he's jumped in.
Oh dear.
And there's no way you can escape punishment when you do something like that. And that's part of the problems I have with some of these officials.
Well, there's a chance, but a good header there by Gariba for a corner kick to Hearts of Oak. And I'm sure the Hearts fans will go absolutely mental if they get another goal before half-time.
And it's possible, Chris. I tell you what, it's very, very possible.
Well, that was a very good corner kick. Sulaiman had to palm that out by Kofi. Bafojan just couldn't outpace his marker. Tetanoto was way too fast for him. And so it's going to be a throw. Kofi. Goes fastest man, goes down, and it's a free kick advantage, Kotoko. How many set pieces has it been now? About 4 or 5?
Yeah, about 4 or 5, Chris. All wasted. This one is even closer. You will see again, he's causing some problems with his runs. They don't know how to deal with it, short of committing a foul.
And it's a Fosopia again to try his luck.
Gideon Barr is also there.
But as to whether Gideon will take it or it's going to be a Fosopia remains to be seen. Well, again, a Fosopia shot fails to clear the wall. And Hartevuk have possession. And that's a lovely ball to Akamix. Nia J doing extremely well to cover. And the referee says play should continue. Good header there. Gariba stopping that ball. And Jordan Opoku gets his pass right this time. Kofi. Crosses the ball inside. Ball not out of play yet. If Bafoja can keep it there. Yes, he does. Gideon Barr and Tuakam is doing a good defensive job, but possession still with Kotoko. Gideon Barr goes down, but those are good tackles. And Nia J. The cross comes in. Well defended by Hartevuk. Good play. Obedansa. But that's a poor pass. And the referee has halted play again because there's a player on the turf, and I believe that's Gideon Barr. No, actually it's Kabiru Moro. He's up now.
No, actually I think that's Bafojan.
Yeah, the hairstyles are similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
But that aside, we're really getting entertained by the end-to-end stuff, and it was a picture the play had to be brought back when things were getting so exciting. The ball's just been passed. And Sulaiman Abdullahi now gets ready to restart something again. Barr. Well, Kotoko struggling hard. Not a bad pass down the right to Kofi. Good play. Gariba! Oh, there. Firing against the upright. And all of a sudden, the referee has given another decision. This time, is it against Kotoko or for Kotoko?
I think it's for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Chris. The infringement, clearly when the ball came out of the edge of the 18-yard. Here we see once again, Gariba, what a lovely overlapping run. A great strike. Just tips onto the bar there by McCarthy.
So that was an excellent save.
It was an excellent save. And once again, another set piece in a similar position.
I wonder whether Fosopia is going to have another crack.
Well, you've got two left footers over it, Gideon Barr and Francis Kofi.
Well, I wonder what routine is going to be practiced there. Well, whatever routine it was, that was very tame at the end.
Well, it could have passed for a dance routine, Chris.
Answer, looking for Mahatma Otoo. And it's a throw advantage across Heart of Oak, the defending league champions, who would want to lift themselves off 13th place. In fact, both sides on 10 points coming into this game. If the score stays the same, Hearts will lift themselves to 13th and potentially into the top half.
And potentially, Chris, depending on the other results, Kumasi and Kotoko could be at the foot of the table.
Or at least in the relegation places. Kotoko. 2 minutes of time added on. What has been a very good game of football. Surprising both sides are lying where they are on the league table. Gideon Bar. Kabiru Moro. Jordan Opoku needs to produce a pass. Well, produces one, all right. But again, the ball dealt with. Obosapia does very well to get the ball out. Gideon Bar. Nia J. Jordan Opoku. That's not a bad ball. But clearly, Kabiru Moro was never going to get in front of Osebosu, who decides to take some cheer from the fans.
Well, he's loving it, isn't he? Pats himself on the chest and says, yes, it's me, Osebosu. There's no way around me.
Had a stint in Cyprus, went on a few trials there. He's back on the heart of Oak's defense. And Kotoko still fighting hard. Isaac Owusu gets the ball away. Gariba. Oh, there! That looked a hospital pass, and Affum waiting in the center. This time the ball goes out. He seems to have picked the knack of being at the right place at the right time, Affum.
Yeah, he certainly has, but just a touch too much there because there was a strong challenge coming behind him. But he's had a good game so far, insofar as he scored the opening goal.
And that is the end of the first half. It's been a good game of football. Heart of Oak under the caution for the first time. It is Accra Heart of Oak, the defending champions, 1. Kumasi Asante Kotoko 0.